The goal of Autodesk's License Compliance Department is to help customers understand the importance of software licensing and provide tools to remain compliant. The License Compliance Sales Manager with Autodesk License Compliance is Gary Conrad. Hey, Gary, welcome into Tomorrow.
Oh, thank you for having me, Dave.
It's a pleasure to have you because among all the other cool things we're seeing, one needs to make sure that we do remain compliant and things are licensed and proper and so forth. And I guess that's where your department comes in.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we do. You know, many customers, when they install a piece of software, they click I accept, and sometimes they really don't realize what they're actually agreeing to with the publisher of the manufacturer.
Whoever reads all of that thing, it's like, I got to install this, I want to install this, yes, I accept, whatever you say. Meantime, it's the mortgage of your house, perhaps. You don't even know.
Exactly.
But that's where you guys come in to make sure, at least, that all the T's are crossed and the I's are done and all that kind of fun stuff.
Exactly. And we know that many customers have different types of deployments and environments, and there's lots of questions about licensing and what's allowed and what's not allowed. And that's one of the things that our team does, is work with customers to help them stay in compliance. If they're not compliant, get them into compliance and provide them with the tools and policies and procedures to implement a software asset management in their company if it is an organization, a commercial organization.
Well, give our audience an idea of why it is so important to be compliant without having to say, well, because otherwise you'll be getting court papers and stuff. But what's the basic gist of this whole thing?
Yeah, well, there's several reasons. And I think first and foremost is that when someone uses a piece of software, if you're using an illegitimate piece of software, a pirated piece of software, you're not getting the full benefits that the publisher intended the user to actually get by using a licensed piece of software. So in effect, they're shortchanging themselves because they're not becoming as productive or as successful with the software as they could be, because they're not getting access to things like the full documentation, technical support, access to communities, or access to learning or training opportunities that might come along with the software as well. Secondly, there's basically reducing risk, reducing the risk that's involved with penalties or adverse publicity for dealing with copyright infringement. But then there's also the risk of some of the bad things that come along with unlicensed or illegitimate or pirated software, such as viruses or malicious software, or things like that that can damage your hardware, damage your network, and those types of things. So those are some of the main reasons why we encourage customers to be compliant.
And I think a lot of folks listening to our radio broadcast and or watching the video podcast might be thinking, well, wouldn't this really be a concern for just major corporations and all the things they have in their network? Yet us as individual consumers need to be concerned similarly.
Yeah, everything from everyday products that we buy, many things are subject to a license agreement, and really the terms of that agreement, when folks accept that agreement, they are bound by the same terms whether you're a large multinational corporation or you're an individual user.
What are some of the tools that your group, for example, helps with to make sure that we as individuals or corporations are compliant?
Well, there's several things that we do and several things that we provide to work with individuals. And first is there's a very extensive part of Autodesk.com, Autodesk.com/license compliance, that we published a software asset management toolkit for organizations so they can roll this out and get the policies and procedures in place to actually make sure they have a legitimate deployment. Then there are also resources to help consumers make sure that they're dealing with an authorized reseller, make sure that the software they're considering purchasing is authentic and not a counterfeited copy. So there's resources like that up there too to protect consumers.
Excellent. It's good to know that you're not just there to slap someone on the wrist should it need be, but to make sure that you help them and kind of hold the hand through the process.
Exactly. We're about education and helping people understanding the license agreement, and if there is a problem, to help them move forward.
Excellent. Well, the website again for Gary's team and the help that you need is Autodesk.com/license compliance. We'll have that link for you so you'll be just one mouse click away on this weekend show page. Gary, thanks for spending a few minutes with us here at Autodesk University.
Well, thank you very much for having me. My pleasure.
It's our pleasure as well. We're back with more from Las Vegas. I'm Dave Graveline. This is Into Tomorrow on the Advanced Media Network.